This is a live show, and we just now got all into seat, and we're just going to have a lot of fun. Meet the candidates tonight. That's what you get to do. Candidates from the GOP. We have got some very important people here with us tonight, beginning with the guy who's running for Secretary of State, who's going to fix all the problems I've been talking about for years on voter fraud.
I've seen you on YouTube saying that to me.
Oh, yes.
I looked the other day and I said, wow.
I think the most important office that there is out there, this except for
close second would be Alan Alley.
I think we're even.
For treasurer.
Second? We're a team.
I'm already.
We're a team. We're a team.
Okay. Well, anyway, you're going to see all these people. There's Alan Alley, and we've got also a wonderful gal who hasn't gotten nearly enough press as she should, and I'm just about ready to remedy that fact because I'm launching it on YouTube and I'm launching it on TVC TV. We went out there to the Day Labor Center and we marched with Victoria Taft against this travesty where they're using our taxpayer dollars so that people who are here illegally can get jobs. This when we have one of the highest unemployments in the country. This is Delia Lopez. Now let's hear for Delia Lopez. She is running against Earl Blumenauer in the, is it the 3rd Congressional District?
3rd Congressional District, that's
yes,
right.
3rd Congressional District. And then of course, moi, I am the soccer mom candidate from Beaverton. Yeah, this is my old lawn sign. As you can see, I took representative and I put duct tape over it and wrote Senate. So we're saving all sorts of money, and I'm just greener than green with that, don't you think? Isn't that very novel?
Yes,
That's right.
You did. You saved
and
money.
It's fiscally conservative, which should be the new buzzword.
Yes, that's right. And I did the same thing with my flyers. They have these darling pictures of my little boys when they're like 10 and 8. And then I put new contact information over the stickers over the old stuff, and I look great because I'm 8 years younger.
Oh, there you go.
So is that why you really did
is
it?
The
Yeah,
key
there
thing.
you
Plus,
go.
I have a whole box full of it. I figured, what the heck, run again, get rid of all your campaign paraphernalia, and head on out the door.
That's right.
So we just have been having a lot of fun, and also I want to say, while we're talking about Congress. Those of you on the west side who have a congressman by the name of Wu, they tricked us, and they got 2 leftists to run in the Republican Party, and then the leftist that won, he pulled out at the last minute after it was too late for us to put a candidate on there, and so we have no candidate running against David Wu. So if you don't like what Congress has been doing and you want to register your disapproval by voting for somebody other than David Wu, I'm just saying, you can write somebody in. You can write any one of us in here, but I would love to be written in.
I'm already looking for a job.
Okay, they don't want to be written in. But again, this one, it's no problem if you want to write me in. I can't technically run for 2 offices, and I'm not running for 2 offices, but I just wanted to let you know so that when you weren't surprised when you got your ballot and you see that you have nobody to run against David Wu. So again, I'm Lisa Michaels, and we've got Rick Dancer, Secretary of State. That's the fellow who does. Tell us a little bit about what the Secretary of State does, why you're running, and I want to also talk about how you believe, and I think it's an interesting idea and a good idea, about the nonpartisan nature. Okay, I'm Rick Dancer. I was a TV news anchor for 23 years out of the Eugene market. So I'm looking for lights that go on to see which one I'm supposed to get. I'm over here. I can see the light behind there. I got tired of talking about people being involved in elections, tired of talking about apathy, tired of talking about that sort of thing, and decided it was time to do something about it. Stop talking and go out and actually run for office. So, the Secretary of State actually is in charge of the overseer of elections, so it's the chief of the elections department, also head of auditing of state government, also sits on the land board, very important. Part of that elections function is also to redraw when in 2 years we're going to do a census, and then someone will have to redraw those lines. If the governor and the legislature don't come up to an agreement, then it comes to the Secretary of State's office, and we redraw those lines, and I'm sure we're going to be talking about that a little bit. You also protect the state seal. Businesses and corporations also register through your office.
and you protect and seal the archives. So everything that happens in state government.
What is sealing the archives?
Well, you make sure that everything that's done in the legislature has a place and is filed and it's in history and we know where it is. So if you need to find information, we have it in the Secretary of State's office. And we do the Blue Book. I mean, there's a lot of other things we do.
Makes it all more shocking that Marion County lost all those provisional ballots that Ruth Bennett's been chatting about. Makes it all the more odd that he's also responsible for that. So it's really important.
And we'll talk more about that as we keep going through.
We sure will. Let's move on and talk to Alan Alley, who is running for the state treasurer, and this is one brilliant guy. He is going to explain to us all the stuff that's going on.
And how to fix it.
And how he, if you have any ideas, what do you think's going on? Tell us about your campaign, and then you can jump right into that.
Well, state treasurer, it's been a fascinating experience because we went from what they call a down ballot statewide race to right smack in the middle of probably the greatest financial crisis that we've seen since at least 1987. State treasurer is basically the CFO of the Bank of Oregon. If we had a Bank of Oregon, that would be the state treasurer. What do you do if you're the CFO or the CEO of the Bank of Oregon? You manage the assets of the state. We have about $70 billion on deposit, 70 billion. 60 billion of it is, or now 58 billion of it is in the public employee retirement system coffers. That's down. That's the good news is there's 58 billion. The bad news is it's down from 66 billion a year ago.
Wow.
$8 billion down is just about $1 million an hour, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for a year.
Unbelievable.
So the state coffers are down that much. The PERS fund has gone from overfunded, meaning we had more money than we needed to pay the PERS liabilities, to underfunded. We now don't have enough money to pay the PERS liabilities. And the responsibility for architecting the portfolio and managing that falls to the state treasurer. So it's gone from an interesting job that I think I was qualified for to probably the most critical job for the state, at least for the next few years, as we sort through this.
Okay, so you guys are like neck and neck. I take back what I said about.
Well, I'm just trying to catch up.
I think both of you guys are the most important seats that they do. And if you want to vote for Delia and myself, you know, go right ahead.
We'd appreciate that too. And we would do a much better job than the current people who are in there. So that's the important thing.
Well, Delia, tell us a little bit about stuff, and then we're going to talk some more about everybody else's stuff too.
Well, we all know I'm running against the, in my personal opinion, worst congressman in the state of Oregon as far as spending money and voting for, you know, handouts for illegal immigrants, putting them on Social Security, and, you know, robbing the people who should be receiving it, you know, our citizens, and, you know, voting for regulation by the WTO of our vitamins and supplements, and fights. You know, he swears to uphold our constitutional rights and then votes to subvert them. It's horrible, in my opinion.
Wow. So tell us how's your campaign going?
Well, actually, I think it's doing really well. You know, my district is 21% Republican, so I really didn't have a lot of hope when I jumped in. I just wanted to shoot my mouth off because I was so angry. And now I have the actual endorsement of the Constitution Party, and their candidate withdrew, and I have the endorsement of the Libertarian Party as well. So the others in my district make up 30%, so that can really change it.
Remember Mitt Romney, he came and spoke, and he said he had 11% in Massachusetts Republican, and he won the governorship.
That's right.
So there is hope, especially in light of how upset people.
There's a lot of people
this whole thing is responsible of the Congress. Am I right?
Oh, if you're not outraged, you're not paying attention. That's all there is to it. You know, I mean, right now Congress has the lowest approval rating, I think, ever, and they deserve
9%.
They
much
deserve
lower
it.
than George W. Bush has ever even dreamt about or feared or had
and
nightmares
it's well deserved. It's well deserved.
Oh yeah.
It's well deserved.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Especially Barney Frank. Oh my God.